Morning, guys. Today is September 2nd, and it's the kids' first day of school. So, finally have an opportunity to go out and get something done around the house with the tractor, mainly. It's almost to the point where I've got so many projects in mind, I don't even know what to start out with first. But on the way back from dropping my oldest off, I think I came up with something I want to tackle. This one has been driving me nuts for the last 10 years. So, I'm going to go take you guys back to look at it, and we're going to see how this goes. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so catching me back in the back little orchard area, and what I'm about to show you is something that was left behind by the previous owner. I didn't want him to leave it behind, but that's the way it went. So let me show you what we're talking about. All right, so if you see under our little bench back here, we've got these big cement pillars. I'm gonna have to get some of this stuff off real quick, but when we bought the place, these were back here. Previous owner claimed he had unloaded these with a BX Kubota, and I'm not so sure I buy that, because just in my basic scratch math, I figure these bigger ones have got to be at least in the 700s, if not 800 pounds. So these are going to be a challenge for my tractor. And honestly, I'm a bit nervous about it because, I mean, when we went to the dealer, I was looking at a bigger tractor, and this was the project I had in mind for the bigger tractor. So we'll see if the 2400 is up to the challenge. Now, I was able to pick up a couple of these smaller ones, which you can kind of see where there were a couple before. I was able to pick those up with the grapple. But it was a lot of weight, and if you look, these full-length ones are quite a bit longer. So those ones kind of got me nervous. We'll see how this goes. But quickly, I'm going to unload some of this stuff. Actually, I'll start with these. I won't get too carried away. We're going to see if I can pick these ones up first. Then if we get on a roll, then I will unload the rest of that stuff so we can get all these guys moved. But we'll start with one and see how we go. All right, so we're on our way back to fire up the tractor. I'm going to have to take the grapple off of it and get the pallet forks on it. And then I'm going to try to put some counterweight on it. Now, I was watching a video a couple days back, and I watched it again this morning from AA Homestead. And if you guys haven't seen his channel, well, I guess I should say their channel, you should check it out. They've got a lot of great content. But Andrew on the channel had put on a curl bar on his box blade, and that added enough counterweight that it was helping him lift IBC totes. So I don't have a curl bar, but I do have an axle. So we're going to try putting an axle on our box blade for counterbalance and see how that goes. Hopefully it's enough. On the smaller cement pillars that I picked up with the grapple, it was definitely light in the rear. Like, I'm really glad I had the rear tires filled with rim guard, but it was not nearly enough. So we'll see if a couple 100 pounds further back helps out. But let's go fire up the tractor and get moving. All right, let's get a landing zone for the grapple. I did pick up a bunch of pallets, and these have been super helpful for keeping the implements out of the dirt. But let's see here. All right, that's where we want to drop our grapple, and there is our pallet forks. All right, let's go get. All right, get ourselves enough room here. It's a cold morning this morning. Give her a little bit of extra glow plug time. And we had 47 degrees. So this whole September thing is really catching on. the hydraulic pressure off our couples up here. All right, let's unlock our grapple. All right, time for our hydraulic couplers. This has got a third function kit on it, so here's one. I had a devil of a time with these this summer. You get a hot day, if you disconnect hydraulics, man, that can really be a bugger to get them hooked back up. So something that I've definitely learned with these Pioneer couplers is watch your back. that was a lot of struggling to get these hooked back up this year. But new to all this stuff, so learning one piece at a time. All right, let's try disconnecting this grapple here. All right. Do. All right, lock these in. That was actually surprisingly smooth. I love these quick couplers. So simple to get these things switched over. Make sure everything's correct. Pin through, pin through. All right, we got pallet forks. Might be hard to see because of the tree damage, but back in there, we've got an old Ford 8.8 rear axle. I had a couple socks down on the box blade to hopefully, I don't know what I'm trying to prevent, not scratch it. But let's see if I can pick this thing up without killing myself. Now it should be a couple 100 pounds at least I'm adding to the back of this. So hopefully that's enough to give a little bit more ballast weight to this. Oh yeah, this should help. This was originally going to go into my Jeep Cherokee, but I've kind of gone in a different direction on that. So let's see here. I wonder if I should, I guess that'll work. It's set pretty well. It's kind of hung up on these center posts. Oh, that's not going anywhere. All right, we don't need these at all. So that probably added, 150 pounds or more to it. Perfect. We got it. Ooh. We don't want that low. Ooh. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is the smallest one. What do you guys think? Is it going to make me wish I had the 2515? All right, so the two things I'm going to do load nice and low, take it slow. Even with that extra 200 pounds on the back, or 180 or however many it is, it still feels light in the tail. So right now what I'm trying to do is make it so the front doesn't bounce. It's super hard on the front end with a load like this. So wish me luck. I don't know. That definitely felt uncomfortable. So we'll see how this next one goes. I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling super confident about this. This next cement pillar has probably got another 4 feet on it. And that last one, it honestly felt like I was pretty close to whatever limits this thing had. We'll see how this goes. Hang in there. This is gonna happen, guys. That is a lot of weight. I did make it. I'm not sure I would recommend doing that, but we did make it. That, I believe, is at or over whatever limit this machine has. See if we can do it again. I guess. To be clear, for this particular task, I do wish I would have got the bigger machine. But so far, this is the only task which I found that seems like a bigger machine would definitely help me. Granted, this thing's doing it. I don't know how it's doing it, but it's doing it. All right, let's see if we can get another one. Just wanted you guys to see there's nothing else in this. This thing is maxed right out. There's no more limit. I've got to be honest. Before I got the tractor back here today, I was more than a little bit skeptical that a Kubota BX could have moved these cement pillars. But after putting them on the forks of this tractor, I flat out don't buy that. So I think I was fed a line. But the fact that I am moving them absolutely astounds me. I'm finding that some of these pillars that I did the math on, there's two cylinders that were kind of running lengthwise through these. I'm going to show you. In some cases, there's three. Well, I'm finding that more than a couple of these are filled with cement the whole way across, which means they weigh a whole bunch more than 800 pounds. And like this tractor is rated for 1,380 pounds, but that's at the pin. So these guys are weighing a ton. And as you saw in that one clip, it's made the tractor pretty close to a teeter-totter, even with weight on the back and loaded tires. And in most cases, I'm finding that the hydraulic system is just tapped out. This is as much as it can lift. But the fact that it's lifting it is amazing. Guys, there you have it. It wasn't the prettiest, but we got it done. Back over to the corner of property where we had a lot of people on four-wheelers and side-by-sides cutting across, so that won't be happening anymore. Plus, we got it out of our field so we can utilize that better. The little 2400 got it done. If I was doing that every day, I would definitely probably wanted the bigger tractor. But I got to be honest, this little guy really surprised me. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for 10 years, so having it done is just a crazy feeling. Hey, thank you everybody who tuned in for this. Appreciate it. If you'd like to like or subscribe, please do so. Thanks. Have a great day.